Why a new word? Sustainocracy. The reason to introduce a new word was to overcome the one-sided interpretation of the word, sustainability. When dealing with sustainability issues, the talks nearly always were about material resources, the economy, production, energy, reusage or the climate. To our surprise, it was never about the sustainable existence and development of us humans and humankind itself. It seemed that we took ourselves for granted, even if this is not at all guaranteed, if we look at the situation in the world today. Would the lack of connection with ourselves be the cause that we misuse the air, nature, water and our interpersonal relationships so much? Simply because we do not associate these external issues with our own biological and natural selves? As if we were separate worlds? In order to restore that connection, we needed another word, clarifying directly the human-centered interpretation of sustainability. The word sustainocracy means, sustainable human existence as a shared responsibility of us all. When we apply this mindset, a totally new reality manifests itself to us. A reality in which the natural human being receives attention, not the politics of interests, materialism or the dominant financial world. Suddenly many other issues become important, like our integral health for instance. Or the air that we breathe in and out, 15,000 times a day. Or our engagement with the food that we eat, where it comes from, its nature, unpolluted and unmanipulated with chemicals. Human values such as safety become essential, expressed through respect for each other, our social interaction together and with our natural environment. Emotions, mindfulness, compassion, empathy and other heart-driven expressions become normal points of attention. All matters and issues that never are attended in the other sustainability talks. Why have we excluded ourselves so much from the current societal functional reality? Why do we tolerate so many inhumane atrocities when dealing with the political and financial system of interests? Forcing us into a constant mode of survival rather than living a self-aware life together? That we pollute the air and with it pollute ourselves? Don't we realize that we are as much nature and nature around us? Why do we tolerate poverty, refugees or wars, knowing that we are all people of flesh and blood? That we all have emotions of fear, happiness and love. Today they suffer, tomorrow we may do as well. Why are we forced to compete with each other if we can help and support each other, without this unreal and unequal financial performance pressure? In reality, sustainocracy, and its corresponding thinking and handling, is nothing new. In the tradition of family life, it is very normal to live the human essentials together. And more when children are involved that need that stable mature embedding to grow up. In a family, health and safety are generally dominant values. Also equality and shared responsibilities among all family members. What we eat, how we play together, exercise and take enough rest. Also important are the intergenerational relationships as a learning environment for the transfer of norms and values. In a family, money is just a means, while wellness is overarching for all members of the community together. Why then have we developed other priorities outside the family context? Priorities that ultimately damage our integral wellness and social cohesion? In Sustainocracy we do things differently. We have made certain essential human values leading. They are the essentials that determine our existence. Hence they represent our basic responsibilities as citizens and as institutions. It is not primarily the issue to fight for our human rights in an inhumane system. It is about the way we take shared responsibility for our natural essentials that determine our existence and our long-term evolution. When we started with Sustainocracy, we could see the huge differences between the two realities. The old, money-driven format, which we experienced as negative, degenerative, feeding itself with growing problem environments, that places more and more pressure on the system, our planet and ourselves. And the other form, Sustainocracy, with the same players but positive, regenerative and constructive, that converges us in togetherness, creativity and warm engagement. The choice is easy and rapidly made at human level, even though people tend to find it difficult to redefine their own reality. A reality from blind financial dependence into one of developing our own essential values as a community. Also at system level it is difficult due to financial interests and dependencies that do not let themselves be changed easily. If people and institutions do engage and adjust themselves, they grow in authenticity and added value, strengthening everything. When they do not, they stay contributing to the problems and develop a level of tension. All related functions develop new meaning. People involved suddenly feel purpose and enthusiasm in their professional activities. Because genuine meaning was added involving their own humanism. As such, a totally new societal reality emerges, for citizens, governments, business enterprises, education and science. A reality that matters, redefining our behavior, that can hardly be expressed in money, but in terms of real securities, future-proof resilience, happiness, satisfaction, engagement, shared wellness and social warmth. Most people do want this, if only they were given the choice. Once we become aware that it exists, experience it, we become a sustainocrat at home, in our functions, and everywhere, all the time. And then, all those other sustainability issues solve themselves, a snow in the sun.